A penguin's life isn't easy. Out on the sea, there are many challenges awaiting the small birds, including avoiding the jaws of sharks and sea lions. And on land, they are preyed upon by other predators, such as feral dogs and leopards. Ewan McGeorge from the conservation organization Cape Nature looks after the penguins at the Stony Point Nature Reserve in South Africa. Once a week, he counts the penguins, much to their displeasure. The penguin colony lies on the edge of the town of Betty's Bay on the country's east coast. The birds nest right outside the residents' homes. It's the only colony in southern Africa that is still growing. Populations in the 27 other known breeding grounds have shrunk or died out due to the diminishing fish stocks and increasing levels of waste, plastic, and oil in the ocean.
The species is struggling. The species, we call it a sentinel species. It's an indicator species of how healthy our ocean is. Basically looking at the biomass. If the biomass is poor, the species is going to struggle. Currently we're looking at about 2%, 2.5% of the original stock of African penguin.
Dwindling food supplies are hurting the populations. Foraging birds often can't find enough to eat in the ocean. That can be deadly, especially during the molting season when penguins must remain on land for 21 days, unable to hunt. That's why the park ranger sometimes has to intervene to save some of the birds.
It's in poor condition. He's a bit of an arrested molter, we call it. Basically his wetsuit hasn't got the insulative properties. His feathers in pretty poor condition.
In a situation like this, Ewan McGeorge gives the debilitated bird a fortifying meal by a feeding tube. Penguins play an important role in the ocean's ecosystem. Numerous other ocean bird species depend on penguins for their survival.
Seabirds have this interrelationship, interconnectivity. We find that the penguin's your plunge diver, who they co-opt and hunt in packs to actually bring the food to the surface and allow the other seabirds to feed. This dependence is very important between all seabirds. If you lose the one, you lose the others.
The Stony Point colony is accessible to tourists. People are able to get quite close to the birds without disturbing them. In this way, animal conservationists can raise awareness for their plight and appeal for support in the effort to preserve the birds.
These guys don't have a choice. You know, big sea, big swell, they must go out and go and forage for their daily bread, basically. Regardless of trawlers, plastic, debris in the water, and the challenges faced with sharks and seals, these guys are dedicated to survive.
But they still need more help. Simply establishing fishery protection zones off the coast would provide them with better food resources. If left to fend for their own survival, it might not be possible in the near future to observe the African penguins in their natural environment.